Good morning and welcome to this week's Explorers Club. I'm Miss Mary, the Storytime Programmer at the Faulkner County Library in Conway, Arkansas. And for Explorers Club this week, we are going to be exploring the spirit of giving. And you might be asking yourself, Miss Mary, I'm just a kid. What do I have to give? I mean, I'm not allowed to buy things off the internet. I may not even have any money of my own to spend. And it might be hard to get in and out of a store right now. What do I have to give? And who would I give things to? Well, I have an idea. There was a program started by a kid, because let me tell you, kids have some of the best ideas. And it was a program for gathering puzzles where grandchildren and great-grandchildren could share puzzles with their grandparents or great-grandparents, and it would be a way to bond, a way to do an activity together, especially for kids who may have grandparents or great-grandparents in nursing homes. That was the original plan for these puzzles. However, due to COVID, there's been a need to tweak those because it may not be super safe to be with their grandparents and great-grandparents right now. We may be waiting. So here's the idea. We are going to give you these puzzles to share with special people in your life. You may want to give it to a sibling. You may have a brother or sister. You'd be like, they would really enjoy this puzzle, or we might have a fun time doing it together. You may want to give it to somebody who you think just needs a Christmas gift and to know that they're loved. You may want to mail it or drop it off on the porch of your parent or great-grandparent with a note that says, hey, when it's safe for us to be together again, I would really like to do this puzzle with you. So, of course, we're not just going to give these puzzles away like this. We may be exploring the spirit of giving, but we're also going to explore our artistic side, because hey, making your own wrapping paper is super fun. So in your kit, each person will get 3 puzzles. I can't guarantee you what puzzle it would be. There is a wide variety in here. And you're gonna get some white tissue paper, some white art paper, or big streets of white construction paper. And the idea is that you decorate the wrapping paper yourself. You wrap up the puzzle and you give it to somebody special that you would like to share the spirit of giving with. So today for Explorers Club, I am going to show you some different ways, some different ideas that might get you started on decorating your own wrapping paper. Sometimes seeing somebody else's creativity helps spark your very own. So let's get started making some wrapping paper to wrap some of these cool puzzles up. For my first DIY do-it-yourself wrapping paper, I'm going to take 2 sheets of white tissue paper, and I'm actually just going to take some markers and draw on it. Here we go. Here is the first one. I did have 2 sheets of tissue paper on top of one another, and then I just drew those little pointy arrow, I'm sure there's a specific name for that, but it's kind of like very simple Christmas trees, and I just covered that with a green marker, and then I wrapped up the puzzle and I taped it, and then I just twisted the ends like that and tied a little twine around it. I will be able to put twine in your packets too for wrapping. So there's that. Let's see, what kind of DIY paper should I make next? Okay. For our next DIY wrapping paper, I'm going to use 2 sheets of tissue paper again, but this time I think I am going to wrap the puzzle up first, and then if you have dot markers, you could do this with dot markers, but I've got these little leftover red and green circles, and I think I'm just going to glue those on there, but I'm going to do it after I wrap it around the gift. I think that'll be easier. Here we go. Let's see if it works. finished my second one, and I ended up leaving it just like this. That kind of looks like a flower. You could put even more of these red ones around the green center and make it look even more like a flower. It looks kind of like the shape of a cross. Just kind of like the simplicity of that. But again, you know, if you have dot markers at home, you could make a pattern with dots on the paper and let it dry and then wrap it up, or you could wrap the puzzle up and then put the dots on the paper. I kind of like this one. What should we do? All right, for my next do-it-yourself and make your own wrapping paper, I'm going to use this sheet of white construction paper, and I'm going to put some red and green paint out, and I'm going to use some cotton balls to make more of a polka dot pattern. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to set this out to dry. I used the red and green paint and some cotton balls. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell in the video, but I tried making candy cake shapes and things with the red, and I wasn't too wild about it. And then with the green, I just tried for an overall just kind of crazy look. One thing I did learn is that when you do this, make sure you hold your paper down with one of your hands or put something on it, because it wants to stick to the cotton ball with the paint on it. But still pretty cute. I'm happy with it, and I'm going to set it aside to dry, because you want to let it dry before you wrap your gifts with it. Okay, next I think I'm going to use the red and green paint again, but I'm going to try painting my paper with Q-tips. Okay, so this was a lot of fun. I think I finally found the perfect thing for making little dots. A Q-tip. So I made this little green and red pattern over here, and then I made a big old Christmas tree on this side. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to set this aside to dry as well. And next, what if we took our tissue paper for DIY wrapping and covered it with stickers? Okay, I found the letters, and it was the right link to make the word surprise. That's kind of fun. I like that. It's a good way to practice our words and our spelling and all that good stuff. Let's see. Oh, I have one more idea for making our own wrapping paper. All right, for this one, I am going to use the white construction paper, and I'm going to use a white crayon to draw on it, and then I'm going to paint over it with some watercolor for a watercolor resist do-it-yourself wrapping paper. So this is my watercolor resist. This would also be kind of fun if you knew that you had a friend or a family member that had watercolors. You could send them a surprise card, and you could write or draw on it with white crayon, which is kind of challenging because I forgot that I had written Love Miss Mary on here, and then I drew over it with my white crayon. So it's hard to know exactly what you drew, but it could be a fun, it'd almost be like secret messages, where you could write on it and then your friend could paint over it and see your secret message or your drawing, or your surprise message in your surprise drawing. Ooh, this is still a little bit wet, so I'm gonna set it aside to dry. But I thought maybe for our last one, we could just color. Yeah, I'm just gonna get another sheet of white construction paper and we're just gonna color on it with plain, good old-fashioned crayons. Okay, for this last one, I just used crayons. Yeah, I just used a couple of crayons to make a pattern. And then I wrapped up that puzzle and I just went around it with a little bit of twine. I like it a lot. All right, I am gonna flip the camera around and show you what you will get in your Explorers Club packets for this week. Okay, each Explorers Club packet will come with 3 puzzles to give away. Like I said, I can't say exactly which puzzle you'll get. They come in different shapes and sizes. This is a little one. That's one of the ones you might get. So 3 puzzles to give away. You'll get some sheets of white, extra big white construction paper. You'll get a few sheets of tissue paper. You'll get a couple of little things of red and green paint, a few letter stickers, some cotton balls, until I run out these green and red polka dots. Like I said, I'll probably run out of those pretty quickly, so that may or may not be in there. I already mentioned the Q-tips, the paint, and until I run out of it, a little roll of washi decorative tape, because that could be a fun thing to decorate with too. Okay, thanks for joining me for Explorers Club today. I hope you have a lot of fun exploring the spirit of giving and exploring the spirit of creativity with your making, by making your very own wrapping paper. I hope you got a great few ideas, and this is a great way, parents, for even the littlest of kids to use that marker or that crayon on some paper and then wrap up a special person's gift with it. I hope that giving away these puzzles makes you feel good, and I hope that you maybe if you have time you can share with me and tell me what it was like giving away something with intention and care. Happy holidays, everyone. I'll see you next time, and don't forget to click the link with this post to request your Spirit of Giving materials. Mwah.